In this video, you're going to learn a new ES6 data type, sets. So first, let's understand the need for this new data type. So imagine that you would like to create a collection of values in JavaScript, and you want to make sure that the collection only includes only unique values, meaning that no value is equal to the other. So here comes the concept of a set. So a set is going to be an object storing a collection of unique values. Right? So every value is going to be unique in the sets collection. So to create a set, so let's create a variable where we're going to store a set. You need to use the set constructor. All right. So then you can add elements to the set if you like. So for example, let's add a value, a string. Let's also add a number. And let's add an object. So let's call it phone and create the object just before. So it's preferable to name constants using uppercase characters, but sometimes it's okay to use lowercase. So let's use make and model. All right. So now if we log our set, let's see what we get. So we've got a set of 3 elements, right? So you've got a string, a number, and an object. Now, what if you add one value twice? So what's going to happen? So let's find out. We still get a set of 3 elements because, as we said, the set is an object storing unique values, a collection of unique values. So every value is going to be unique. So even though you add the value, that value twice, is going to appear only once, and it's not going to affect the size of the set. All right, so let's add another one before moving on. So let's add the body. Okay. All right, so now you can also create a set by passing an iterable object to the set constructor. So pass an iterable object to the set constructor. So an iterable object like an array. So let's create another set, my set 2, and this time we're going to pass an array straight away here with different values. So a string, a number, another string. So let's log the set. And here we go, another set, and its size is 3. If you include the same value twice, like this, you're still getting the same set. All right. If you pass a string to the set constructor, let's find out what happens. So as you know, a string is also an iterable object because you can iterate or loop over a string. So and you can see that we're getting a set of size 4 this time, and the elements of the set were actually the different letters or characters inside the string, and you can see that we don't have duplicates, so L can show up only once, even though you've got double L inside the word hello. All right, so now let's explore some methods. So they are actually similar to maps. So similar methods to map. So for example, you can check the method has. So let's go back to our first set. So has phone. This is going to return true, right? And if you remember, if you try the same thing with the object literal, it's going to be false because objects, they are not equal, right? That one refers to a reference, and this new object has nothing to do with that one. Even though you set phone equal to that, it's actually creating a new reference. So this is going to return false. You're not going to have a get method because the set is not a collection of key values. It's only a collection of values. But you have other things like the size of the set, right? You can also delete elements. So using the delete method. So let's delete this value 1 and log the set. You can see that it's now disappeared. You can also clear the whole set using the clear method like you did with maps. And now you've got an empty set. So let's just comment these for now. And now let's move to iteration. So let's understand how you can iterate or loop over a set. So you can use a for of loop straight away like this. So for const value of your set, you just log the value like this, and this is what you get. Otherwise, you can create an iterator. So instead of looping over the set, you can loop over an iterator. So you can use the method entries like we did with arrays and maps. And here you can use destructuring. So inside the iterator mySet.entries, you will get key and value. Now what's interesting here is that the key inside the iterator and the value are going to be the same. All right. Instead of entries, you can use keys. And you can also use values instead. And again, you can see that the keys and values are the same because a set is a collection of values, so we don't have keys. So interestingly, you still have two methods in ES6 for mySet keys and values, and they are returning the same thing. All right, so now let's try with iteration with for each. So this is another interesting thing that you can use with sets like you did with maps. So you pass to for each a function. So let's use an arrow function. So the parameter you pass here is going to be the value, and let's just print the value, and this is what you get. All right, so now let's move to something else. So you could see that if you pass an iterator or an iterable to a set, to the set constructor, you can create a set using those values inside the array. Now, if you go the other way, you can actually create an array out of a set. So there are two ways. So you can either use a from method of the array object, and we're going to cover this later when we move to the arrays chapter, or you can use the spread operator. So let's create an array. Like this. So you just place your set inside using the spread operator, and this is going to turn the set to an array. So let's try that. And here we go. Now we've got an array.